segment of my brief video tutorial on sanding techniques. And the little gadget that I'm going to show you here is the most important tool that you'll use when you get into more involved bowls. Once you get a curved interior, the only way you can reach it is through this inflatable sanding bowl. All right, these inflatables come in a variety of configurations, mostly cylindrical, different sizes. This is the only size of the round ball. And it basically blows up like a little ball. You put the sleeve on. They come in sets of grits that go from 60 on the coarse end, this is a 60, all the way up to 320. There are 4 different grits. You put this in, get it seated nicely. There's a little circle on the bottom so that you know where you're centered. And then you pump it up with this little hand pump, with these convenient little finger holes. And as it pumps up, you get a positive fit. And then you chuck this into your drill press. And if you have this, you can use it for simple sanding, as in this straight-sided sample bowl. And it would look like this. I'm working on those areas where there are irregularities. You can also use it to shape the inside of the under edge. Like this. All right, now this, of course, you do slowly. You check it with your fingers. Your fingers are used as calipers, actually. And you can get a really lovely edge, whether it's a straight edge, whether it's flared out, whether it's flared in. But the most important function that I found as I've gotten into more involved bowls is getting into tight spaces. On this project, I have a straight ring that's glued to 2 angled rings with a little piece of veneer in between. And since you're going to be able to see the inside of the bowl, I have to clean this up nicely. If you're doing a vase with a narrow opening and people will not be able to see much inside, you don't have to be as fussy. But in order to reach, now notice I'm limited by the chuck, and there are extensions you can get. I'm not sure how well this system works with them. In order to reach, I have to sand in stages. So last night I glued this up, and what I'm going to do is to get this smooth by manipulating it both ways like this. Now we'll check this. This is now getting smoother. I'll turn it over the other side to get the other edge of it. Once this is sanded smooth, I'll add another ring and then sand that. And then this bowl will just have another ring and then a base. But you need to go little by little or you're not going to be able to reach. This will hit against here and you'll get some nasty marks. Now there's one other function that this can serve that's very handy. So bear with me a minute while I go get a ring. I'll be right back. And here's a ring that has some really ugly burn marks on it. You can use this even before you glue the ring up to get rid of things that are really unsightly, like this. This is what happens when you don't chuck something in using all the 3 little openings. Sometimes I get lazy. And it just pays, particularly for someone like me who does not have tremendous upper body strength. There. Now it's done properly. I also keep the chuck key out of the way since I've been told that these can be quite hazardous. You don't think of this as a dangerous tool, but this can also send things flinging. All right, so let's go again. fur, and this is cherry, but you probably guessed that, is history. But here's the important thing. If you want to get a nicely rounded bottom before you glue it onto the base, all right, whether you're working with just the lowest ring or you've done your glue up until that point, it's easier to see what you've got if you turn this upside down and sand. Like this. You'll see little irregularities, little bumps that you just miss going on the upper side. So you straighten them out here. And then when they're straightened out, then you can go on the upper side and tweak it, knowing that your edge is nice and even. And this, I find, is the easiest way to get a nice round bottom. One of the things that I'm going to do that I haven't done yet is to make a chart of different size circles. If you hold your circle over one that's drawn, you can easily see where you've gone a little bit elliptical and sanded back in shape. And by sanding upside down, you see exactly how much wood you have left to glue onto the base, and you're not likely to leave yourself with a problem. If you have to make a choice between less than perfect and impossible to glue up, guess what you should choose? Sometimes good enough is simply good enough. And I hope that these tips will help you so that your bowls now will be more beautifully sanded than ever before. Thanks for watching the series.